So I'd like to begin by thanking you for entrusting me with the role of chair these past 2 years. It has enhanced my life immeasurably. The end of a term is a natural opportunity for reflection. How has the world changed these past 2 years? What does this mean for LeadingAge, for our members, and for ourselves as an organization? In 2011, when I became the chair during the LeadingAge 50th Anniversary Conference, I said to you, if we continue to work together, if we continue to imagine the world in which we want to age, if we continue to create programs, respect technology, develop our future leaders, establish new business models, and if we continue to build on the wisdom of those whom we serve, then we will celebrate our future anniversaries knowing that we help to make America a better place in which to age. I still believe these words, but the events of the past 2 years make it more challenging. Since October of 2011, we've experienced acts of God like Superstorm Sandy, the tornadoes in Oklahoma, and the flooding in Colorado. Politically, we've seen the repeal of the Class Act, the government shutdown, and the growth of Medicaid managed care. The challenge to us as providers is enormous. The potential consequences for the future, absent a real financing plan for care, are extraordinary. Overlaid on all these dramatic events is an emerging theme that I believe will shape our country for decades to come. Caregiving is the new normal. Family caregivers in our country, and more than 80% of us plan to be caregivers, will provide caregiving for, on average, 20 hours a week for 5 years. However, more than a quarter of our citizens don't know what is involved with caregiving or how to even prepare for it. So what does all that mean? And what should our response be? The answers to these essential questions come first from the work of our members, many of whom I was very fortunate to visit. More than anything about LeadingAge, I treasure how our members share values, expertise, and insights to help each other to do a better job. I'd like to acknowledge the many states and members who hosted me and shared their stories. Can you give them a round of applause, please? I visited groups like Chicago's CJ East Senior Life, which is participating in a CMS demonstration on case management to try to improve quality while reducing costs. And the members of LeadingAge Rhode Island, who've created a corporate structure that provides rehabilitation and other services that allows them to negotiate competitively with managed care companies and accountable care organizations. And the Beatitudes in Phoenix, which has created a remarkable comfort care program for people with dementia and uses a data-driven approach to understand the effectiveness of their work. Their innovative program is now being replicated and evaluated in New York. But I saw another type of dedication by members during my 2 years, the dedication to each other, something we witnessed during Superstorm Sandy and the recent tornadoes in Oklahoma. More recently, Fraser Meadows in Boulder, Colorado was forced to evacuate after flooding overtook their buildings. Their CEO, Tim Johnson, described incredible acts of heroism by staff as they first evacuated their assisted living building and then had to move 54 nursing home residents, all without power and while the water was gushing in the building. But perhaps the most remarkable part of Tim's story was of one nursing home resident who contributed to the effort And I quote from one of Tim's emails. As the night wore on, and we tried to calm and provide comfort to our residents, we were in turn met by miraculous moments of ministry by residents and staff. A resident from our memory unit who for 3 years had only been able to receive assistance, being totally dependent on caregivers, unable to give anything back in return, quietly hummed and sang hymns through the night, ministering in her own quiet way to the many around her. As I paused in front of her as she lay in her bed, she raised both of her hands up toward me and grabbed my hands. Together we sang, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. A woman who hadn't communicated in years ministered to those gathered around in the greatest moment of need, including one very needy CEO. As if Tim's tale of caring and heroic acts isn't enough, there's more. Golden West, a nearby LeadingAge member, took in many of Fraser Meadows' displaced residents after the flooding. So what do all of these examples from our peers teach us? First, from CJE Senior Life, we see an ability to innovate. From Rhode Island, we learn about strategic partnerships. From the Beatitudes, we are reminded that when we reshape our missions in profound and meaningful ways, the world will take notice. And from Fraser Meadows and Golden West, we learn that we can be heroes together and recognize the contributions that all can make, even in times of crisis. These lessons will help us not only survive these turbulent times, but to shape the future. And what of my promises to you 2 years ago? Have we made ours a better country in which to age? And has LeadingAge supported us in this important goal? I'd like to think so. Last year, we awarded the first 4 grants from the LeadingAge Innovations Fund in partnership with New Cortland Senior Services in Philadelphia. The goal was to identify promising strategies for linking housing plus services to help low-income residents meet their needs and safely age in their own home, in their own community. 7 new grants will be distributed this year, again focused on catalyzing innovative housing plus services programs. The Center for Aging Services Technologies, the Center for Applied Research, and our new Center on Housing Plus Services all release tools for evaluating technology, for better assessing residents' health, and for implementing affordable housing plus services. With these tools, LeadingAge members have forged forward to expand the world of possibilities for aging. And we are advocating together for sensible policies around everything, from Medicare observation stays to the reauthorization of the Older Americans Act, to demonstration projects around Housing Plus services, a model for all of us as more and more elders wish to remain at home. These achievements could not have happened without the dedication and hard work by so many. I owe a huge debt of gratitude to the board members of LeadingAge, who are so committed to guiding our association with vision and with passion. You will be in very able hands under Dave Game's leadership. Larry Minix, Katie Sloan, and the entire LeadingAge staff work tirelessly on our behalf and have been an inspiration to me these past 2 years. And the same is true of their counterparts at the state level, the state execs, the state staff members, the state board chairs, and the state board members. Thank you for your dedication to our mission, to our vision, and our values. And I must also acknowledge the fabulous team of Jewish Home LifeCare, who supported me, covered for me, and tolerated my numerous absences. Okay, they probably enjoyed them. It has been an honor to share our story throughout the country. And finally, to my husband, Jeff, who listened with real interest and enthusiasm to the stories of the members I met and the passion that they had. And most importantly, I'd like to thank you, the LeadingAge members, for being the ones who make a difference every day. You know, your dedication and commitment make me think of Bill Thomas's recent chapter about the new old age. The father of greenhouses and culture change wrote, "There is a new old age waiting to be born, and the culture change movement will be called upon to attend its birth." But that is not all. Our vast, thrumming American society is also in need of healing. The post-war generation, which has done so much to inflate, accelerate, and hyper-caffeinate the way people living in American society experience adulthood, will be endowed with one last culture-making opportunity before they disappear into the history books. Working together with people of all ages and led by wise elders and skilled practitioners of culture change, the post-war generation must undo much of what it has done to all of us over these past 3 decades. The passage of the baby boomers into the undiscovered country of life beyond adulthood will be essential to the success of this effort to repair American society. Even now, they are beginning to arrive on the sandy shores of old age, and we must be there to welcome them, to comfort them, and to whisper softly in their ears, "You are the elders we have been waiting for." Let us begin together the work of changing the world one last time before we go. Together, we, the members of LeadingAge, have and will change the world. Thank you for that commitment, for that enduring compassion, and that vision of a better way to care.